Hey there. So this is this week's mobility cool down. This week we're going to do the same thing so that we can get, all of us are going to do this together. So this is to pattern certain movements to become better at those movements. So doing them very deliberately, I will lead you through this. It's going to be 8 to 10 minutes. We'll see how we feel once we get in here. At least I'll see how I feel, and that'll dictate how I guess we're going to do it. First, we're going to start with pass-throughs. We're going to do this in a few different ways, so bear with me. Here we go. So go ahead and get yourself your PVC pipe or your dowel rod, whatever it is. I recommend that you have one measured to your chin. This one's pretty short for me, so we'll see if I can even get it behind my neck. So go ahead and get your dowel rod. When you're ready, press play. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and go into front warrior, which is basically a long lunge here. And I want you to be nice and tall. I want this front foot or this front knee over top of the ankle. I don't want you to be back in an obtuse angle here at your knee or too acute at your knee and your ankle. So just nice and 90 degrees, and you're going to do your pass-throughs in this position. If you need balance at this point in time, if you are falling over, then what you're going to do is do 10 pass-throughs or dislocates, then do 1 minute of the lunge hold or the front warrior as it's called. The back leg, the back hamstring is going to be going to the sky. The front shin is pushing forward. And we're just doing these. And then if you can't do this during the front warrior, that's okay. You're going to do this between front warriors so you get your reps in with the pass-throughs. So that's 1 minute. We'll switch. Go to the right leg. And again, we're doing this pass-throughs with both legs because, as we know, we're imbalanced, and this gives us the opportunity to work on understanding how one leg being forward triggers different effects in our body. Pardon me for breathing heavy here. Hope you had a good holiday season. It's a new year. Happy New Year. Let's see, we've got 20 seconds left roughly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take that dowel rod. You don't need that right now. Next we're going to take, and I want you to get down on your knees. This is sort of like child's pose beginning. You're going to be sitting on your heels. And if you need to, you can open up your knees a little bit. So if not, that's fine too. Whatever works well for you. And all I want you to do is try to lean back. If you have to put your hands on behind you, that's fine, on the ground, and then come back up. We're going to slowly open this up a little bit more so that the quads get a bigger stretch. Ideally, we'd like to get back to our elbows. So I use my hands as a guide. You can kind of walk them back as you go back. I want to feel that my tops of my quads, fronts of my legs are getting tight, and I'm having trouble keeping them down. Then I know I'm getting a good stretch, and then we'll walk back up. And we just keep going in and out of this. We're going to do this for another minute here. So when I get to a place where my knees are coming up, you see that, I'm going to actually squeeze my glutes and push my knees down. And this will help stretch all of that tissue. And then I come back up. And this is just to go in and out of the motion, because every time you do that, we're engaging all the muscles that do that. So it's like doing a whole bunch of first reps of initial repetitions. And usually the initial repetition is the hardest one. So we're coming out of it, patterning the nervous system to access the same feeling. It's getting a lot easier for me now. Hopefully it's getting easier for you as well. So see if we can get to the elbows. Oh yeah, not too hard now. Great. Hopefully you're at the same level or more for those of you flexible folk. Okay, We'll go ahead and come out of this one next. And then what we're going to do is go to a wide leg forward flexion. So wide legs, the feet are going to stay parallel to each other. And we're going to get pretty wide. You can see I'm getting pretty wide. And how I know where I need to be is that my pelvis is slightly tipped forward, so I can't actually stand up. This is too tight in here. So that's what we're looking for. I want you to take those glutes and push them forward. So I'm squeezing my glutes. See my legs flex and rotate. That's what I'm looking for. So squeezing and moving forward, kind of getting the front of my pelvis to move forward slightly. And then all I'm going to do is push my hips straight back, relax my glutes, go down straight, keep my back straight, touch the ground, come back up, squeezing the glutes, come forward, boom. So it's basically like a wide-legged deadlift with no weight. 2. And we'll do 10 of these nice and slow. This is 5. 6. Keep those legs wide, those knees straight, and those feet parallel to each other. I think that's 7. If we did an extra one, I guess we're doing an extra one. 8. 9. Last one, here we go. And then back to 10. Good job. Okay, so let's work on the fronts of the legs a little bit. So you can see I got my couch here. You want to go find a wall. So push pause. Bring your iPhone or your whatever you're watching this on over to the wall, and then we're going to get started on the wall. Again, if you can't access this position very comfortably, that's okay. You can go to the ground here and just do this. That's okay too. So it doesn't matter, either way is good. This is just opening up the hips, patterning the hips a little bit. It's one of my favorite ones to do, as you know. It's helped me rehab my back from a pretty serious injury. So these tight hips are important for all of us to work out. We're 6.5 minutes in. Good job. So what we're going to do is push the hip forward. Okay, and when I do that, I'm feeling, because I have, if you can see this here, I've got my leg, my lower leg, outside of my hip. This would be in line with my hip, directly behind my hip. I've got it outside, and the reason I'm doing that, you don't have to do this. It might actually cause pain. It might not. I can feel it's activating the inside of my leg a little bit more, as well as the outer capsule of the top side of this leg. Doesn't matter if you can't feel that. That's just where I'm looking at it right now, where I'm needing it. So I'm focusing on that a lot, making sure that I push forward to open all that tissue up. So I'm pushing in, trying to keep a really tight core, squeeze the glutes. My whole body goes in a straight line. I don't want to arch and bow. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to push my whole body straight and forward so I get the flex in this hip here. And it does affect my knee a little bit, but for me, I can feel that the things are opening up in my knee. That's where the quote-unquote discomfort comes from, is that things are getting a little bit wider and a little bit longer for the muscles. So the little bit of pressure I feel in my knee, I feel like it's part of the process, and I'm going to trust that it's okay. So at your discretion, you can do the same or change that. So we'll just do a few more here. Hold it, good. Nice and tall again. All right, and then let's switch. Again, if you've got to put your foot on the ground, that's okay. You can still actually bias it out to the side to get that same capsule, same part of the capsule that I was accessing there. So very simple to do. We want to make sure, again, we've got a nice long stride here. So I don't know what distance this is. It's probably a good 18 to 20 inches between my knee and my foot. What I want to avoid is really getting this close. This is pretty close. I'm not going to actually get a very good stretch, and I'm going to get so far forward that I have no base. So I want to make sure I have base here. So again, I'll move my leg out just a little bit, and then we stretch. And we hold and pause for a second. It's always important to do, because we need the body, the nervous system, the neurological system, and the tissue itself to feel the stress at that point. And that's an important part of opening up the tissues, is getting the tissues to feel what they're supposed to be doing. So A few more here. We have 1 minute left. We're almost done. So good job for staying with me. 10 minutes. Cool down. You can also write all these down as you go. Put them on your whiteboard or put them on a piece of paper. Or I'll have this copied, or I'll have this in text. You can just copy that text maybe to a note or something so you can have it if you don't want to watch this video. But I would absolutely, well, if you're already here, you've watched the video, it's important to understand these movements and what I'm talking about when we're doing them, because I know sometimes that gets lost as we go through this without someone there to help us point out these things. So that I completely understand, trying to mitigate that a little bit. So if you have to write this stuff down and take some notes, feel free to do that. You're going to be doing it for the whole week. Even if you're not working out, and we're good to go. Even if you're not working out every single day, you can do this every single day, especially after work when you get done sitting all day long, or driving in the car, or getting off of a plane. Whatever you're doing, you can access this sort of mobility for the front of the hips, and it will help the lower back. It's going to help the upper back and the neck. It's going to help the hips, of course, and the mobility for that. So this is this week's mobility. I want everyone to do this week's mobility. If any of this if you have a problem with any of this as far as like how it treats your body and not feeling right or whatever, send me a message. Take a video of you doing it and where it's hurting, and help me, and I'll send you one back, and we'll try to rectify that situation. So I appreciate you, and thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being part of the ZenFit tribe.